we are talking about the 3 myths about your label that you have got to stop believing. Myth number 1. The first myth is that it cannot be changed. When I received this label, this diagnosis of type 1 diabetes, 1, I knew I was going to be insulin dependent forever, but 2, I received a lot of comments that involved words like, you can't do this, you won't do this, you will not, you don't, and that implies that things can't be changed. I have to take insulin. I have to obviously eat, but I can tell you that the amount of injections that I take, the amount of insulin that I need, and the fluctuations in my blood sugar are minimal. When your blood sugars, and this is for anyone that doesn't have diabetes, but to explain things, like when your blood sugars are fluctuating, you feel like crap. Like it's like an ongoing roller coaster, and you think that this is kind of like permanent, and it's not, and that's what's so freaking awesome. It can be changed. And while the answers aren't just gonna fall out of the sky and you're not going to know exactly how it works, how you can do it, that's okay, because it will happen. It takes time and it takes educating, and that's what I love to do, is to educate that you have the ability to make a change in your life. And so with that being said, if you're interested in learning kind of like a strategy, a free way to figure out how you can overcome your label or living beyond it, because it is a part of you, but it is not you, you can go to myhopefulhealth, HEALTH.com/planner, and you can download it, and I just show you the order of things, how you can do it, because it's what I figured out, and it's how I realized things can change and you're not stuck here. If that sounds cool to you, then you can check that out at myhopefulhealth.com. Secondly, you have this process, this thought process really, and I think it's instilled when you put these thoughts in your head or when you receive a diagnosis, but you have this idea that it creates limitations, and you feel like you were created for so much, but you can't reach those, and you can't live that life you were created for. You might feel like because of your label, you cannot reach it. You're limited. And I think that can be taught sometimes. It's unintentional by healthcare providers and by society, and that could even just be someone that is like morbidly obese. Like, I don't judge people who are overweight, because life happens and sometimes it's in your hands, sometimes it's not. But as limiting as it feels, because you can't be active, you can't get up and move as much as you thought and felt like you could, it's not an end-all be-all. And that's where the order of knowing where to start and how important the small steps are is how you begin to live beyond this label that this doctor put on you, and you can be successful. Number 3, here's that won't word. This idea that you will not be able to live your life. There's these ideas that are conveyed that we really, a lot of times, feel like we cannot live. A lot of times you feel like you can't live because you can't eat like everyone else. You feel like you can't live because you cannot be super high energy, like with diabetes. Like, if you have all this energy and you start running around, you'll probably experience a low blood sugar. And when you experience a low blood sugar, you have to stop, and you can't have fun anymore. You have to sit down, you have to eat food and drink juice that you don't feel like having. And that is a myth, and I know it's a myth, despite like how many experiences I've had like that and how many experiences you may have had related to something like that, similar. And it's like nothing works. There's something that works for a lot of people, and this is a whole other topic another time, but there are foods that you can eat. There's food that will actually fuel you so you have energy. And I know this because I am super active. I love to exercise, and I have stable blood sugars, and it's so freeing, and I am able to live my life. A life of balance, a life of normality, so I can be like my friends that don't have a label placed on their life, or at least not the same label, and experience life of freedom. Those are the 3 myths of that you just need to stop believing about your label, whatever your label may be. Just know that this is the truth, no matter what you're living with. And that's it. What up? Thanks for hanging around. This video was brought to you by my free Life Balance Workbook and my free 3-part video series. If you're ready to live beyond your label to take your life to the next level, I'd really encourage you to click on the link in the description below or the link right here, and I'll see you there. You're awesome.